What do you think is the reason for the universality in the Rings of Power that people can look forward to, and even in a country like India, for example, it's releasing in 30 languages in India.
But there's also friendship and loyalty, there's love, there's the struggle within oneself to do what's right, and how far in the darkness you would go to do that. I think they all speak to the human condition and what we all struggle through every day. So yeah, I think it's very universal.
If you have to just sum up your respective characters in a hashtag, how will you do that?
Well, I think probably the obvious one for me, I guess, hashtag matriarch.
Hashtag rule breaker.
Oh, that's really good.
Hashtag loves to eat.
There are special effects, but a lot of it is actually practical.
Yes,
as much as possible was practical, so hopefully you'll be able to see that regardless of the screen that you're watching it on.
Wonderful to have Sara, Megan and Markella. The Rings of Power is going to be a sensation. We have them with them on Bollywood. Hungama, pleasure having you with us, first of all.
Thank you for having us.
It's lovely to be here.
All right. If you guys, are you guys like Instagram persons? Who's like an Instagram person amongst you?
I think neither of us.
Actually, none of us.
I mean, we're all on it.
We all post,
But there's like varying frequencies.
Okay. So if you have to just sum up your respective characters in a hashtag, how will you do that? Like
In a
starting
hashtag?
with you. Starting with you.
Oh my goodness.
Well, I think probably the obvious one for me, I guess, hashtag matriarch.
Oh, great.
Oh, that's
amazing.
really good.
Superb. What about you?
Hashtag rule breaker.
Oh, that's really good.
All right. And what about you?
Hashtag loves to eat.
Nice.
What do you think is the reason for the universality in the Rings of Power that people can look forward to, and even in a country like India, for example, it's releasing in 30 languages in India. What are your views on that?
I think that Tolkien generally speaks to the human condition. So, I mean, they're the big themes of good versus evil that we all love to go and have that great story. But there's also friendship and loyalty, there's love, there's the struggle within oneself to do what's right, and how far in the darkness you would go to do that. I think they all speak to the human condition and what we all struggle through every day. So, yeah, I think it's very universal.
All right. How do you look at this entire excitement which is around the Rings of Power, the biggest, the most expensive series ever? What does that make you like? You must have shot in a certain context. The COVID was there, but now when you're listening to all these various things about the series, how do you respond to it now?
I mean, I think it's really exciting to be able to finally share it with everyone, and for hopefully for people to be able to resonate with the characters and enjoy watching it. But I think that at least, you know, for me personally, filming it, I was never really thinking about the scale of the project, and the approach was the same as I would any other project, which is just focusing on telling a truthful story and working with such, you know, wonderful actors and a wonderful crew and wonderful showrunners. So I think that was I just feel really grateful to be able to share that experience with the world.
How important is collaborating on a big project like this in terms of there's certain energies that you have to emit, you have to receive, and that is something that is going to really come together on the final day once it's releasing on September 2. So how do you look at the collaboration part of it?
It was very collaborative between us and the showrunners, sort of from the beginning actually, but also between us as actors.
Yes, very much so.
It was very collaborative, also because we spent so much time together, we know each other very well. So I think we sort of created a language between us that didn't even include words by the end of it. We could just sort of look at each other and know exactly how the other was feeling. But also I think because there was such development of all of the characters from the beginning, from what JD and Patrick have written, and then obviously from what we have developed over time, that there were, when it came to it, especially towards the last couple of months of filming when we were really in the thick of it and towards the end of it, I sort of could no longer see Sara or Markella. I could just see Nori and Marigold. So it was really nice to receive that, as you were saying, to receive it and then be able to sort of bring the poppiness out of me, because there's no Poppy without these two.
Very nice.
Many times it is said that OTT platforms, they're mostly, we would say, on say telephones and mobile phones and all that. But the level of VFX that we are witnessing in the Rings of Power, I think it's going to be a trailblazer in more ways than one. Do you think that it's time to change perceptions about OTT as a platform and why it's really going to be making a big statement maybe in the years to come?
So in terms of the effects particularly, or?
Usually it is perceived that OTT is mostly consumed, mostly on say mobile phones. And VFX, like many people, that how will you really experience the VFX stuff, say on a mobile phone?
I see.
But the level of production that is there in the Rings of Power, it is next level. So maybe the entire consumption of content on OTT platforms is something that is making a statement of sorts, that there is a change in shift. There's a shift in people's choices as far as consuming content, and it's no longer merely cinema halls as well. There are other platforms that people are opting for, and it's something that people should take notice of that and accept it.
I mean, ideally for me, seeing something so cinematic, I would recommend seeing it on something larger than a mobile phone, because there is so much wonderful attention to detail that you might miss on those smaller devices. However, I watch a lot of stuff on my mobile phone, so I like that it's really accessible, that people can take it with them. Even like we just flew on a plane and I had some of the things that I like to watch I could download and I could watch it on the phone. So I think it makes it more accessible, just generally speaking. I don't know how you two feel about that.
I think so. I would agree.
Yeah.
I would agree with that. I think that also it's. I think what you were saying about where we're at now and kind of actually, even though there are special effects, but a lot of it is actually practical.
Yes,
as much as possible was practical. So hopefully you'll be able to see that regardless of the screen that you're watching it on.
Especially in our world, we were 90% practical.
They built everything. We were in location for everything. The only things that were, if there's like, something flying past that, they had to, then, that was the effects, but it was, everything was built.
I mean, all the orcs spent hours in the makeup chair because they were so wanting, the showrunners and the production team were so wanting it to be practical, and to have that feeling, that visceral feeling that practical effects brings you. And that's not to say that VFX is not amazing, and it is, and it has its place in our show, but as you say, a lot of it's so practical that I feel that will jump out no matter the size of the device. Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. So pleasure talking to you guys. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And I'm sure post September 2nd, I think your life is going to be changing.
We'll see.
So congratulations. All the best.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
That's all we have from Bollywood Hungama. Keep on watching.